Hey, it's about June 10th and my third week here in Surkhet. I wanted to make a video about just my general thoughts on the city of Birendranagar, which is where we are. And yeah, I have to do this in portrait mode because I can't flip it with the mobile YouTube recording. And finally there's a football tournament going on right down there, so you're gonna hear some very excited and poly people. Alright, so first of all, what's really cool about this place is due to a Nepali government policy change. If an NGO wants to do any work in an area here, they have to have an office. So because of that, whereas previously we were the only NGO headquartered in Surkhet, now there's a couple different NGOs with offices here, bringing in, a ton of money, and that is just one aspect of why a lot of real estate value is actually going up in this area. So I want to show you. Oh, okay, exactly. So you see that right there is a rebar column that is put in place in case the owner of the building wants to keep building up, but they just don't have the money yet. And that's actually representative of a problem I see, is that the property value is spiking here, and people are taking out pretty big loans against their properties so that they can build these magnificently colorful buildings. So if you look down there, you see pink and green, and across the way there's a yellow building. I mean, the colors here, are incredible. It's honestly heaven. But comically, because you'll see a lot of blue collar female workers in these incredibly colorful garbs, and at first you ask why would you work in your nice clothes, but you see it's really just the clothes that they happen to be incredibly colorful, which is the kind of world I want to live in. It's really nice. Okay, so secondly, clothes are made incredibly cheap here. You can still get a lot of probably child labor imports from the surrounding countries, or even within Nepal. There's a bunch of textile production. However, you can also purchase your own fabrics in town and have them create a customly tailored shirt for you for 300 rupees. And right now it's 110 rupees to the dollar. So it's less than $3, which is, absurd. You feel like you're robbing everybody. Next is that, just as an odd fact, within a lot of these new buildings, there are these just half steps. So there's a full step and then randomly a half step to just get the height right. And so many times you trip, you just fall. Even people I've known working at this organization for 5 years now? No, that's not true. 3 years. 3 years still trip on these steps. It's half funny. Nice. Okay, so a majority of people here, 80%, are Hindu. However, you see a ton of crossover with Buddhist practices. For instance, there is a Bodhi tree right there. Okay, so there is a Bodhi tree here where people take refuge. I have to do this into the sun because I'm off work, and this is the best place with the best view. So anyways, this is Bodhi tree, which is where Buddha found enlightenment, is also celebrated in Hindu culture, and married to a Vata tree, in that they plant them close together, and then when they reach a certain age and enough branches intertwine, they tie them together in a marriage ceremony, and it's really nice. It's really, really cool, and people use it to just take shade and store their goats, and it's just a lovely practice. Well, the best estimate that the Muslim population and the Christian, for that matter, together represent only about 1% of the total population in Nepal. There is a mosque in Birendranagar, which I have yet to visit, but I excitedly wish to do. Main mode of transportation for me, if I'm not using the organization's vehicles, is tuk-tuks. Tuk-tuks, which are three-wheeled cabs that are just paper thin and all terrain. It is exciting. Oh, okay, so I don't know. Again, I have to do this into the sun here, so I don't know if I can capture it. Yeah, sorry. Alright. Anyways, there's one in the distance, basically for about 20 rupees, which is, you know, again, less than 20 cents. You can just get into the middle of the shopping district and really wherever you want to go. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but they are fearless here. So the roads are getting paved more and more by the day, which is incredible, because even just 2 years ago, the roads were not paved, incredibly rocky, and surrounded by trees. But now, buildings are at all sides on the two major highways, and there's a lot of loss of trees within this particular part of the valley. So really, it can be argued like what that's doing to the ecosystem and stuff, but yeah, so development is coming here fast. Actually, okay, so once again, that's a pile of bricks you see, and stones and cement, and literally broken construction equipment. So it's happening here. It's really just like as fast as they can, they're developing this out, and businesses popping up all over. There's bakeries, you know, pizzerias. They have some really good fries here, like at a place called Marikas. Okay, so yeah, there's a theater. They played back-to-back weeks of John Wick, Aladdin, and Godzilla King of Monsters. I missed John Wick and Godzilla, but I got to see Aladdin regretfully. I mean, it was just totally mismatched. Yeah, and they played Rocket Man. So really, just like, even though it, earlier, like a couple years back, you would have only seen maybe an English movie a month, we just got 4 in a row. It was just crazy. Okay, so cool thing about Surkhet, well, semi-cool thing, interesting factoid, is this valley used to be blanketed in malaria, and I can see the mosquitoes thrive here. I can't, when I first got here, it was like I had maybe 20, 30 bites, and then now I at least have 2 at any one time. Maybe, right now I have 4. Not that you needed to know that, but basically blanketed in malaria. So around the 60s, the U.S. blanketed this entire place with DEET. And we don't know to this day the ecological impacts that has had on the valley. But because of their efforts, it made the Surkhet Valley habitable. So here we are, for good or for ill. But interestingly, people used to try to do this, like traverse this valley within a day, so that they would limit their chances of getting this incredibly deadly disease. And what's cool is our new school is built right next to a temple where people would just sprint across the valley, stop at that temple, pray for safe passage, and then just bolt the rest of the way. Like, this valley is not small, and it is hot. Hot, humid here. It is 39 degrees Celsius. Today, I don't know really what that means, but it's going to steadily increase till about 43 this coming Sunday, and that's over the course of a week. So, yeah. Alright, so another fun factoid is the tractors here look like pod racers. There's nothing more to that. Parakeets are native here. Flocks, gigantic flocks of green birds used to be seen here until most of their habitat was destroyed. Animals roam freely around here, so goats will randomly just be pegged to the road, like on a leash with a steel bar tethering him to the ground, and you may think, okay, so I see this goat in the middle of the road. Surely their owners are right across the street, but no. Sometimes people will just leave their goats somewhere and miles away from their home, and then they also go off and do shopping and just let the goats eat whatever random vegetation is nearby, and in that way you just find goat poop and baby goats everywhere. I saw a ton of kids just on this road today, like 4 or 5. Wild dogs. There are wild dogs and pet dogs. Just here, one girl got bit by a domestic dog here, one part of the summer team, but it was light. Still, you gotta watch out. Yeah, these dogs do not look happy, and they are hot always. And cows. So again, Hindu culture. You cannot eat cows, but you do find them. You find them. Hey, Sheila.
Hey, Ben, sir.
Hey. So basically, you find these cows everywhere on the road. No. You find these cows just but no tethers, right? These cows actually just get left in the middle of the road. They just wander. I don't know what that's about. They will literally just walk across the road, sometimes in the middle of a highway. Their owners nowhere to be found. And I don't know what to say. They are incredibly expensive here as well. So either a lot of trust here or a lot of, cow worship protects them. Maybe a bit of both. Finally, city power. So there's a grid here. However, there are rolling blackouts. Maybe you can expect at least 1 a day, and then at most 5, maybe just you don't have power throughout the night. To counteract this, we have rechargeable fans, thank God, and intermittently people just have either tiny solar panels or huge solar panels like we do, thankfully. Yeah, it's cool though, because okay, maybe not so cool. Yeah, they're rolling blackouts, you never know when they're gonna come. But it's just one of those things, And those conclude my thoughts for now. Oh, the monsoon. No, just kidding. I'm totally joking. This is going to be a 15-minute video. So the monsoon's not here quite yet, but it's coming. Lightning storms here are magnificent, awe-inspiring, and you can imagine, before civilization, just roaming packs of humans would worship this crackling lightning and thunder in the sky, and I can believe it. And then brings a forceful and heavy rain, if not only for an hour or 5. But seriously, the lightning shoots across the sky. Incredible stuff. But our building floods. The windows are not watertight, and some rooms just flood. Yeah. Let's see here. I think that's all I want to say for now. Till the next one. Bye.